Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to Forever Stranded. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So, in the last episode, we got a bunch of stuff together as far as our Pam's Harvest Craft garden is concerned. And so, yeah, today I want to get a bunch of this stuff to be used. Now, I did finally get my first little bits of pork and beef, so we can actually make the very first one of the beet burgers that we are supposed to make. So if we look up that beet burger, we need a piece of toast, we need a fried egg, we need cooked steak, cooked pork chop, pineapple, and beet. So, yeah, a couple of things that we got to do there. So, first thing is, we need to make ourselves a piece of bread. So, let's go ahead and pull those hammers back out of there. So, this piece of bread, we're going to throw it in the furnace. Oh, no, we don't throw that back in the furnace. Okay, we need to use something else for that. But we do need to throw the beef and stuff in there. So, to turn this into toast, yeah, we need the bakeware. Okay, that's fine. So we'll grab our steak, we'll grab our pork chop. Stupid thing. Alright, then we will come over here, grab the bakeware. We will need a beet, which we have. And the other thing that we needed was what? Fried egg and pineapple. So we will need one egg, we will need a pineapple. And then to make the fried egg, I believe we need the skillet. So if we combine those, we get the fried egg. We will combine those, get the toast, and then we just need the cutting board. And this should make this beet burger. Oh my god. Look at that. A beet burger. So for now, we're going to set this in here. Now we do have the epic bacon. That is also one of our top tier foods. The lamb with mint sauce is not quite as good, and we could probably throw that in here now. The thing is we are going to be very slow on getting the beef and pork out of those traps. So we still need to make some other things in the meantime. Now we have a lot of other meats and such here, and we can do a lot of things with those. And well, quite frankly, we need to, because we are definitely out of space here. So the venison, if we look at this, now we can make the dim sum with that, and it's pretty good, but we are missing some of the stuff. We do need mushrooms, we need dough, and we need water chestnuts. Now the dough is a problem, because we need salt, and there's no good way to get salt. This is literally the only way to get salt. So you need a steady supply of sand, a steady supply of fresh water, and from the sand then you can make glass bottles. The glass bottle is destroyed, the fresh water is gone, and the sand disappears and you get to salt. Not exactly a great way to do things. So yeah, that is not exactly an option for what we can do. Now, this one here is not as bad. We need curry powder, but we also need butter and black pepper. Onions, very easy, very similar to what we're doing. It's not a bad food either. But I think what we're going to actually do, because I think this is part of our quests anyway, we have this meaty stew. And so this can be made with pretty much any meat. We need a bit of flour and some stock. And the thing is the stock can be made with any meat and a pot. So we're going to collect up our meats there. And then the other things that we needed was what? Flour. So we're going to need a rice for that. So we're going to need the mortar and pestle. Oh, and we actually have too much rice on us. And then we need the pot. So I think that should cover everything. So we'll go ahead and turn a stack of rice into flour. And You know what, we're going to use a vegetable for this, and I think the parsnips may be the best option for making the stock. Then we combine that, and the meat, and we'll get our meaty stew. And not a bad bit of stew. I think it actually outperforms, Spider Eye is the same. But so that pretty much outperforms everything else that we've got in here, which is good. You know, we're getting better food. And that's an important bit of what we need to do. So that definitely opened up a little bit of space in here. And we actually have some stock in there. So now what I want to do next is actually try to use the stock for as many things as we can. So we can make cactus soup, not the best in the world. The seed soup we've already seen, not very good. We can make tomato soup, about the same as the cactus soup. And in fact, I think it might be exactly the same. Yes, it is. So is the rice soup. Spider Eye is definitely better, but we can move on to the garden soup. I guess that's the same. We have the meaty cucumber soup, would actually be pretty good, but for this we need silken tofu. Now that is one of the places we have soybeans. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some silken tofu. For that we are going to need to make a presser. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And this witch is driving me nuts. Just die. Thank you. Might as well harvest while we're down here. And that's the thing. We're getting tons of stuff to harvest down here all the time. I don't even bother with the sugarcane half the time because it's too much. There's just too much at the moment. So we need the iron ingots. We're going to need some cobblestone as well. And then we need some planks because we're going to need to make some pistons. So the presser is made with some type of ingots, copper, steel, iron, or bronze. We're going to use iron because we have a bunch of it available. And then we need a couple of pistons. Oh, and we need redstone. What all can we drop in here? A lot. A lot we can drop in there. So I'll grab a couple of redstone, and now small plate presser. What? Huh? I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was just a piston. No, it is a small plate presser. Weird. Okay, well, anyway. So our presser, we can bring over here and place down between these. And all that we have to do is grab a stack of soybeans, throw these in here. And the nice part about this, first off, it doesn't use any power. Secondly, it is going to give us grain bait. So that will be very good, but that does give us the silken tofu. So we're going to let that do its thing for a little bit. We're actually getting cold. I've been having some issues with that of getting cold here lately. But so we do have a little bit of the silken tofu. So if we go back in here, so no, we need to go here. So the uses on the stock, we needed this guy. So cucumber soup. So we just needed the silken tofu stock and some cucumbers. Now I do have some cucumbers. So very nice. All of this stuff is finally starting to come together. So I'm kind of happy about that. So we've got a little bit there. Let's go ahead and take our stock, our pot, our silken tofu, and our cucumbers, and cucumber soup. There we go. So I will be making up a bunch of that as well. So yeah, at this point in time, I think I'm just gonna let the presser do its thing. I will continue to monitor the ground traps out here to keep them going. The fruit trap, I think we're going to be running out here pretty soon, but now that we have the grain bait being made, we'll be able to refill that. And look at that, we got another pork chop. Very nice. Get a lot of stuff from that. So, I guess I will be back in just a little bit. Well, this is a rather interesting one. Sitting there looking through all the recipes, and one of the things that I found was that we could run beets through the presser to get the veggie bait and sugar. And so I decided, you know what, we'll look at the recipes for sugar. And if I can open my inventory here. And I saw this dark sugar, and I'm like, what on earth is that? So I looked at it, and it's fast vector plates from Dark Utilities. Vector plates. Yes, I've been having issues with the mobs outside not being pushed into the killing pit, and I think this is the answer. So if we look up the vector plate, if I could spell right, good lord, fingers were off. So the vector plate takes a bit of stone and sugar and slime balls. Now, we did get a bunch of slime balls from... Oh, I think we may have used them all? No, okay. I'd say I didn't think that we used them all. So then the only thing that we really need to do is take a couple of stacks of cobble, go cook them. But we'll be able to start turning some of these mobs into actual things that we can kill. And that's a good thing, considering if we look at our quests, in the basic survival we have killing, and we need to get an awful lot of mobs. Obviously zombies are easy enough, but we're still lacking on skeletons and spiders. We have gotten all of the creepers, but then we need endermen too. But the one good thing about this is we could potentially set up a darkroom spawner for this. So yeah, I'm actually kind of happy about that. So I'm going to let these guys continue to wander in on their own right now. But once I get some stone, I'm going to go ahead and get out there and set up those vector plates to push all of these guys in, because that will definitely make my life easier. So, yep, I will see you guys after a bit. Oh, and by the way, we've got several new foods in here. Spring salad and carrot soup. Got the meaty stew, cucumber soup. Yep, we're doing pretty good actually. Well, I just got done with a blood moon, and my gosh, that one was pretty good. So we got 4.5 stacks of bone meal to turn in zombie flesh to turn into dirt, but we killed a lot of other mobs. So we got 4 creeper heads, a skeleton skull, an ender pearl, a blitz rod. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff that we don't usually get, and that is great. I'm loving that. So let's see here. We'll drop off a few of these things. I do have this bow here. I kind of want to keep it that way. So I guess we'll drop these off over here. Yeah, I've gotten a witch hat too, and I don't know what on earth you're supposed to do with those things. I have no idea. But yeah, stuff has been going pretty good. I have been doing a lot of work with the chisels and bits blocks that we have. And yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here that is leftovers from cleaning up the chisels and bits. And we have gotten tons and tons of laboratory blocks. Yeah, I guess. But you can see the inside of the ship is pretty bare now. Yeah, it's getting there. But our food... So we're eating some of our newer foods, but there is a way to make all of this so much easier. And that is with cooking for blockheads. So let's take a look at cooking for blockheads. So with the crafting table and the oven and the fridge and the sink, the sink doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. It's supposed to provide water for recipes. Doesn't work. But there are plenty of things here that we can work with. And we have the Cooking for Blockheads book. I think it's this one. So all that we have to do is smelt a book. So, oh no. Okay, good. It didn't do it. So if we grab 3 bits of sugarcane and a leather, we should be able to make ourselves a book. So let's go ahead and get this. There we go. Yes, I wish that they would make books shapeless crafting in vanilla. That would be great. But so another thing that we are going to need to pulverize a bunch of sand into dust, because we are going to need some clay for this. So yeah, let's go ahead. That is not dust. Let's grab our dust. We can put it in there and get some clay. Now we're going to have to make some hardened clay for some of this, because it takes hardened clay across the countertops. Doesn't look like anything else is going to be overly extravagant. I am kind of looking forward to the cow in a jar, because that will make life a lot easier. But so if we look at this, we can see various recipes. And so these recipes are things that we can make just with the stuff that's in our inventory. But it assumes that all of these tools are available. So we do have to make sure that those are available too. Now, obviously, in order to be able to get into this cooking for blockheads, we are going to have to get a whole lot of hardened clay. Now, the other thing is this is black hardened clay. So I am going to have to set up a squid farm too. Now, a squid farm out here is actually really easy. All that we have to do is go somewhere up in the air, drop some water, and squid will just spawn like not. Well, I guess we'll have to go underground, because squid don't spawn above 64. So yeah, this might actually be a spot that we could well, we actually have a bit of water right there, and way down below we have an opening. So I guess that actually would work. I can hammer out a bunch of this dust here and then let the water fall down there. Now we will want to put a safety railing on that, because the last thing we want is to fall to our doom. But yeah, I've got a little bit of stuff to get that hardened clay, and I will be back. And there's our first squid. Now, one thing that I do find really interesting is we're actually getting like a waterfall sound here. But yeah, squid are falling. So we should be able to get tons of calamari and ink sacs from this. So I don't know if I need to move back away from that in order to get them to spawn or not. I don't remember what the spawning criteria exactly are for squid, how far away from the player they will spawn. But this is definitely working. You know, we will have squid. So, yep. Gonna harvest a few of these guys. I'll see you guys in a bit. Well, I ended up getting more than a stack of ink sacs and a fair amount of calamari. Now, unfortunately, that calamari is not going to be able to be used for much, but we do have a bunch of stuff set up here ready for cooking for blockheads. So the first thing that we need to do is actually make the Cooking for Blockheads 2 crafting book. So that is rather important to be able to make some things later on. Then we are going to make our black hardened clay. I've already made a little bit of the black glass, but now if we take this book and combine it here, we will get our cooking table. So that's the first step of this. Then we need to get an oven and some fridges. Now the other thing that we will do, we will go ahead and take the rest of this black hardened clay and we are going to make some kitchen counters. Then here we have the sink, which unfortunately does not work for water, but it'll be whatever. And then we also will grab some tool racks. So let's go ahead and place this all down. Now this is a multi-block structure, so as we place these things down, they connect together. Now I love the fact that we can actually place multiple fridge blocks together and they become one big fridge. And when stuff is inside, you can actually see it in there, which I think is pretty cool. So then we are going to place down the sink and a couple of the counters, and then over here we are going to place our tool racks. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of our food related items. So the first thing that we're going to do is grab all of our tools. So these we will place into the various tool racks that we have put up here. And so this will allow us to have all of these available, and it looks like we are going to be short by a little bit. Yeah, we need one more of those. So let's go ahead and grab, oh, we don't have enough. All right, well, let's do this, and we'll come over here and grab a few more of these iron nuggets, and then make another recipe of slabs. And nope. One more tool rack, and this will hold all of those items. So now the next thing that we need to do is start transferring all of our food items into there. So we are going to grab the stock, the silken tofu, cooking oil, flour, all of the sugar. We're going to leave our baits and stuff in there, and then tons of this stuff. So we can actually put this into quite a few different places. So obviously we have the fridge. We can put a lot of stuff in the fridge. And then also we can put things in the counters. So we're probably going to need all of the counters, but unfortunately right now I just don't have the space for it. I'll have to dig the front of this out a little more. But as we put things in here, more and more recipes will open up of things that we are able to build or to craft. So yeah, we have a whole bunch, like the tomato soup wasn't there a second ago, I don't think. May have been there because it was in my inventory. I don't know. But yes, if we get all of that transferred in there, and it's getting hot in here, if we get all of this transferred into there, we will actually be able to, well, see everything that we can potentially craft in these. So yeah, lots and lots of transfer of items. Like I said, I'm probably going to dig some of this out. So I will be back in just a moment. All right, I've got everything moved over here now, and this is nice, let me tell you. So we've got all of our meat and, well, kind of perishable vegetables inside of the fridge. We have all of our grain and cooking or baking related things here, root vegetables there, and then our spice leaf up here. Now, yeah, we can put pretty much anything in these spice racks. It's kind of interesting. Now, the rest of these are all empty, which, okay, yeah, we got tons of room going forward. And I have moved the food chest over here as well. So let's just see what type of things can we make now. Now, the first one that I can see is this bacon and eggs, which is actually a really good one. And so this takes an egg, some raw pork chops, and a skillet. So let's go ahead and make up some of those. We could only make one? Wow, we only had one pork chop. But another thing is we need to make some bread. And I think we can come up with a slightly better method for making bread than just crafting 3 wheat together, especially considering that we are very limited on the amount of wheat that we have at the moment. Oh, there's another pork chop. So, yeah, I've just been going around continuing to collect the items that we have. Of course, we're getting tons and tons of rabbits from the grass out here. But yeah, we're starting to get there. We're getting a lot of stuff together. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of testing just to see what we can do for the bread, because there is something that I want to try. So let me do some figuring and I will be back. So I want to see if this will work. So we are going to try to do some stuff with Better with Mods. Now, I have not messed with this mod since SevTech ages, so it has been a while. But we're going to go ahead and start out with making 2 wooden gears. We are going to place one of these wooden gears in here and make the millstone, and the other one we're going to place over here and make the hand crank. Now, if I remember correctly, you just need the hand crank next to that, and then if we grab some barley, let's say, put that into this, we should be able to... Yes! Nice! So we just need to sit here and do this over and over and over again. And I'm curious to know if multiples would give us faster, but we get this flour. And so what we can do with this is this should smelt directly into bread. So we don't have to mess with making salt and fresh water to make dough. Yes, nice, 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 nice. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll start placing bread here. So now the question becomes, on this flour, what all can we grind? Oh, oats, rye, barley, rice, and wheat. Nice. So I am going to grind up a whole bunch of this rice, and we are going to get tons of bread and a bunch of toast, because we need that for a lot of recipes. So this is gonna take a while. I know it does take energy to do this, but we're making food. So grind all this up, cook it up, and I will be back. Well, everything is working pretty good here, but I will say running this hand crank is kind of a pain in the butt. So I think in the next episode we will take a look at better with mods. See if we can get this to be a little bit more automatic, because there are windmills and water wheels for better with mods. So I really want to see what we can do with that. Now, we have made a little bit of bread, not a lot yet, but before we go, I do want to make one thing and finish at least one quest. So rabbit stew is the only stew that we haven't made yet out of the ones that we needed for the one. Ooh, we can make a pot roast now. That is nice. So where is the rabbit stew? I wonder, does that require a cooked rabbit? Yes, it does. Okay, so we need to come up here and we need to cook some rabbit. Now, the thing is that automatically went into the oven, and it is consuming this tiny coal, which is just made by crafting some coal in your inventory. And then it puts it over here into this output slot. And I love the fact that it slowly transitions from one to the other. But now that we have that, we should be able to make the rabbit stew. So if we scroll down through here, where on earth? Let's search rabbit. Not enough ingredients. What are we missing? Oh, we don't have the baked potatoes in there. So let's go ahead and throw some baked potatoes in the fridge, and that should give us the ability now. So if we look at rabbit, there we go, rabbit stew. Well, let's go ahead, and there's actually multiple recipes available. So what type of mushrooms? Okay, yeah, we definitely have more red mushrooms than the other. So let's go ahead and make this with the red mushroom variant, and there we go. Some rabbit stew. I only had 4 bowls, so that was all the more I was going to get. But that is actually a pretty good food. So that should complete... Oh, no. Yep. Yeah, we still have the mushroom stew and the hearty stew. And the hearty stew was one of them that I remember. It was a pain in the butt because I was trying to use chicken, and it kept making chicken stew. Yeah, I will say, do not use chicken to make your hearty stew. Use any other type of meat. But yeah, I thought that we were going to have that one. Well, I guess that's the way that it goes. But yeah, like I said, we will be looking at better with mods in the next episode. So if you want to know about that, be sure to tune in for the next one. But I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you would like to see, be sure to Leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.